We're in the right side? Can't see the front of it.
All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Pechanga Arena, San Diego. My name is Andy Zilch, and we're excited for today. Very special day here for the San Diego Gulls and the Anaheim Ducks organization. I'm thrilled to introduce Gulls General Manager Rob DeMaio and fourth head coach in franchise history, Roy Sommer. Before we begin, we would like to welcome Bob Ferguson, the Assistant General Manager, who's tucked away in the corner, along with Gulls President of Business Operations, Matt Savant. First, I'll introduce Rob DeMaio. He's spent 33 seasons in the NHL, including the previous 13 seasons with the St. Louis Blues, most recently as the Director of Player Personnel. He also served as the Blues Director of Pro Scouting and a professional scout, and played a key role in helping build the roster for the Blues Stanley Cup Championship in 2019. Rob was selected by the New York Islanders in the 6th round of the 1987 NHL entry draft. DeMaio appeared in 894 career games with the Islanders, New York Rangers, Tampa Bay, Philadelphia, Boston, Carolina, and Dallas. He recorded 106 goals and 171 assists for 277 points and 840 penalty minutes. He also earned 7 goals, 9 assists, and 16 points in 62 Stanley Cup playoff games. In addition to his NHL career, DeMaio won a Calder Cup championship in 1990 with the Springfield Indians, posting 4 goals and 7 assists for 11 points in 16 Calder Cup playoff games. Welcome to San Diego, General Manager Rob DeMaio. We will now have Matt Savant present Rob DeMaio with a San Diego Gulls jersey. We'll now introduce Roy Sommer. Roy joins the Gulls as the AHL's all-time leader in wins with 808 and games coached with 1,736 games behind the bench after spending the last 24 consecutive seasons as a coach in the San Jose Sharks organization. He earned a record of 808 wins, 721 losses, and 107 ties with San Jose's primary affiliate in Kentucky, Cleveland, Worcester, and San Jose. He helped guide the Barracuda to 5 Calder Cup playoff appearances in 7 seasons following the AHL's Pacific Division's creation in 2015. Sommer was named the AHL Coach of the Year in 2016-17 after leading the Barracuda to a 43-16-9 record and an appearance in the Western Conference Final. As a head coach in the ECHL, Sommer compiled a record of 176 wins, 124 losses, and 34 ties in 5 seasons. He led the Richmond Renegades of the ECHL to a Kelly Cup championship in 1995 and was named the ECHL Coach of the Year in 95-96 after leading the club to a record 105 points and with a season overall record of 46 wins, 11 losses, and 13 ties. Sommer served as the associate coach for the Sharks for part of the 2019-20 season before rejoining the Barracuda as the head coach prior to the 2021 season. He was also the assistant coach for the Sharks from 96 to 98. As a player, Roy was selected by Toronto in the 6th round of the 1977 NHL draft. He appeared in 741 professional games in the NHL, AHL, International Hockey League, Central Hockey League, and West Coast Hockey League. Sommer won a Calder Cup championship with the Maine Mariners in 1984 and helped lead Muskegon to an IHL Turner Cup championship in 85-86. He also represented Team USA at the World Junior Championships in 1976-77. Welcome to San Diego, head coach Roy Sommer. And now, once again, Matt Savant will present Roy Sommer with the San Diego Gulls jersey. All right, we will now begin with some opening remarks from both Rob and Roy before opening it up for questions. First, Gulls General Manager Rob DeMaio.
Well, I appreciate being here, everyone. Thanks for coming. I first of all want to thank the Samueli family for giving me this opportunity. Aaron Tietz, Pat Verbeek. This has been a long time coming for me. It's something that I've been working towards, and coming to the San Diego organization is a special time for me. This organization has had a long history of success. It's been here for a long time, and it's one of the somewhat untapped markets around the professional hockey scene. I'm really appreciative of the opportunity to be here. I look forward to working with Roy very closely, building a culture here that has been consistent throughout the years that San Diego has been involved with the American Hockey League. We're trying to build an organization here that develops very good young talent that can step forward to the National Hockey League and, help Anaheim and our organization up at the NHL level to be successful. So I'd like to thank Roy. He's got a long history of success at the American League level with 1,700 games coached with 808 victories. We couldn't have a better coach to work with our young players, develop talent, and have success as an organization. So I'm very appreciative of Roy accepting the position with us here in San Diego, and I really look forward to working with him. So welcome, Roy.
Thank you, Rob, and now we'll have a few words from Roy Sommer.
First off, I'd like to say it's an honor to be chosen as coach here in San Diego. And I know it's probably one of the most sought-after positions in minor league hockey to get. And like I said, it was when they told me I got the job, I was fired up. And I also like to thank the Ducks organization, thrilled to be part of them. I mean, I've been up the road from them for 26 years, and they've kind of battled each other over the years, and and finally came south. But another thing, I'd also like to thank Henry and Susan Samelli for the opportunity, Julian and Aaron, and especially Pat and Rob for giving me this opportunity. Coaching in the American Hockey League, it's the #1 development league in probably the world, and it's a great place for young men to start their careers. And I think the biggest thing about it is when you do come to the American Hockey League, there's expectations, and as a coach, I hopefully help those guys fulfill those expectations to play in the National Hockey League. Being in San Diego, it's a team that's got a winning tradition, and I look forward to the challenge of meeting that winning tradition. And hey, let's put things right here. I'm not a spring chicken. I don't have a lot of years left in me in coaching, but I sure would like to win a Calder Cup here. And I know coming into San Diego, over the years, I know all our players were, you could tell, getting on the plane or the bus coming down here, they're going, man, we're going into San Diego. They got the best fans in our division. And then, I was kind of looking at some of the stats, And I was going, man, San Diego's got a pretty good road record here, and a lot of it is because of the fans. I mean, you guys get behind them, and you know, it's kind of like you know, a sixth person on the ice at times when things get down, and you know, it's one of those places. It's probably has the best fan base in the American Hockey League. I've been on the East Coast. I've coached in the middle in Kentucky. I was in Worcester. I was in Cleveland. And I think you guys in Hershey are right up there with the best fan base in the league. And I know it's like I said, it's an honor to be, you know, coaching in front of you. One of the things that, you know, whenever I came into San Diego was I think the way you guys honor your military here. And I know before every game they would mention some of the people that were in the military, whether they be old guys or, you know, people that just came back from combat. And, you know, that's always been a big part of me is, you know, military and what you guys do for our country. And I know that San Diego really appreciates that, and I know the Gulls are a big part of that. And hopefully I can get our guys out there and maybe train with you guys a little bit and to see what it's really like to be out there. Some about myself, I'm a fourth generation Californian. Actually, that picture up there, if you see that bolo, that was my great-great-grandfather's. That's probably 130 years old. And I started wearing that. We were in, I was coaching in Worcester, and I kind of wanted to change things up a little bit. And I was digging through some stuff, and my grandfather had given me that. And I go, man, I'm going to wear this bolo behind the bench. We went on like a 6-7 game run. And so then I started wearing it, and like whenever things started getting kind of slow or we weren't doing very well, I'd throw that bolo on, and the guys would go, he's got the bolo on, it's a win. But I wore it a lot last year, didn't do very good. But that's kind of where when I started wearing the bolo. I'm kind of a simple guy. I've got, you know, I got a Timex watch that's worth $30. I drive a 07 beat up pickup truck with a roof rack and a toolbox in the back. It's kind of how I roll. It's a little bit about my family. I've got you know, a wife that's kind of hung with me. You heard about all those cities we've been in and all the moves we made, and she's hung in there with me. I've got 3 kids. My oldest boy, who some of you guys have been fans here might have seen him, his name's Marley. He's got Downs and he's autistic, and he goes on all the road trips with me and helps out in the locker room and stuff. And that's one of the reasons hopefully I can be a big part of that. You know, the community here, I know a lot of people that have kids that have disabilities. It's kind of a hard deal to deal with at times, and you know, hopefully we can get together and that can be part of our community. As you know, as far as the military, that's the same thing. I've got my other son, my middle son, Caston. He's a coach, and he coaches out east in Holy Cross. And then my daughter, she's 24, and she works out in New York at a school out there. Some of the other things, I played all my minor hockey up in Northern California in Berkeley. That's where I started, so I know the grassroots parts of things are real big in San Diego. And I know growing up in that area, we had the San Francisco Seals, and they used to play the San Diego Gulls, and that's how they kind of got started, you know, the minor hockey in the Bay Area. And you know, hopefully our team and myself can be part of that community as well, and helping grow, continue to grow the minor league sport here in San Diego. Let's see. Kind of my coaching philosophy is I think the biggest thing is to be fair, so you don't have to think about being fair. And if you kind of take that into context a little bit, it's like, like a guy might come in, and I do these meetings every 10 games with the players, and kind of bring them in up to date on how they've done in the 10 games and this and that. And, some guys will come in and say, hey, I need more ice time and I need this and that. And just to tell them, so to be fair with them, do you think you deserve this, or is this part of what you think you should be getting? And, that's kind of when, you bring it out, whether he is being in the right role or or not in the right role. But that's kind of a little bit about my coaching philosophy. And I think you'll find out that most of the teams that I've had, there's always been a high compete level, and that's something that's non-negotiable with me. And that goes as far as in their practice habits and, same with their game. And the American Hockey League, it's a tough animal. I've had guys that have scored, over 170 points in juniors, and they've played 3 years for me, and they never scored 20 goals in one season. So it's a really hard league to get your feet wet. But if you put the time in and you put the commitment in, that anything's possible, and you can achieve your goal of playing in the National Hockey League. I guess the biggest thing is, I'm looking forward to having a successful and to continue the tradition here in San Diego and have a winning season, have a lot of fun. And again, thanks for coming, and thanks for welcoming me into your community. Thank you.
Thank you, Roy. We'll open it up for questions. I'm going to start, actually. We only have time for one question per person for our members of the media. And Roy, just real quick, you shouldn't have worn the bolo tie against the Gulls. That was mistake number one. My first question will go to Rob DeMaio. Rob, just kind of give us an overall consensus of what you envision the San Diego Gulls to be on the ice. When other teams are talking about the Gulls, what do you want them to say?
Well, Roy kind of has already brought that point up. I think we looked from Anaheim's perspective, we want a team that's going to be real competitive. We want a team that plays together, that works together, that has a goal to succeed at the end of the day. The American Hockey League is a development league, and ultimately, the better they perform down here, the culture that is provided down here just enhances the opportunity for these young players to come up to Anaheim and be effective NHL players. And that's why Roy is such an attractive guy, because of the history that he's had in the American Hockey League. I mean, it's no fluke that you coach for 1,700 games and stick around. And with that, you have to have a real understanding of different generations of players. The game has changed so much over the years, and it's a difficult thing for a lot of veteran coaches to be able to adapt to this new younger generation. And Roy's done that, throughout his career in all different eras of the game. And so, like I said, we're really excited because, it is a development league. We're going to have a lot of young players coming through San Diego, and those players ultimately need to be, bred and brought to a point where they're going to be effective NHL players in Anaheim for us. So we're really excited to have Roy.
All right, Roy, my question to you, you talked about the Gulls fans. What is it like to be on the good side of this fan base? I mean, we see some of our Gulls Elite membership fans in here right now, and I'm sure this is a breath of fresh air for you to have such a robust fan base.
Well, San Jose, I'm not going to say anything bad about an organization that's kind of kept me around for 26 years, through good and bad. But like, our fan base was nothing like here. I mean, every time we'd lose coming out of here, there'd be 100 people yelling at our bus when we were leaving. And but like I said, it's it's exciting to come to the rink. I mean, if you're a young player and you play in the National Hockey League, most of the buildings are filled there, and you come from a fan base like this where the building is filled, and you go up to Anaheim, where they have a good fan base up there also, and you go like, man, it's just kind of part of the culture. And like I said, you guys I've been around the league a long time, and this by far is one of the best fan bases in the entire league.
All right, we'll go to members of the media. Again, one question per person. Please state your name and your availability, and we'll get it going right now with Lee.
Hi, Lee Hamilton, KUSI TV, and my website. Rob, in the Gulls' history in the A, Dallas Aikens was a thinking man's coach. Kevin Dineen was very demanding. Joel Bouchard seemed to be a passion play guy that was on his players all the time. What kind of coach do you need to deal with this type of young player and the rigors of getting them into a pro system and play 72 games?
Well, I think you need a coach that's fair, that has a good grasp of what is needed. Team sports is a difficult thing, and to be able to bring a group of young people together that have a collective goal to succeed is not an easy thing to do. And it's an art, and the good coaches stick around for a long time because they can understand that. And we probably have one of the best here in Roy that can do that. So that is, that is the ultimate goal for us, is to build a culture here that is successful.
And Roy, one of the things the Gulls have gone through over their group of years here is developing young skill guys that have gone to Anaheim and have learned on the job and finally gotten good at their craft. But it's a revolving door of roster players. You never know at noon what you're going to have at 7 because people keep getting yanked on you. As a coach, how do you build continuity when it's Grand Central Station out here, out in front of the arena? Because they keep moving players up and down.
Well, you know what? To be honest with you, if you're not moving players up in this business, you don't stick around. Like I know in San Jose, when San Jose had, when they were really good and, winning, they were in the playoffs, I think, almost out of, I think, the 26 years. I think they missed them just, a couple times. The last 3 years have been real hard. But if you can put 3 to 4 players up a year that end up going up and contributing, you're doing a pretty good job at this level. I mean, anyone can go up, like we had, I don't know how many players went up last year for us, but anyone can go up, but the problem is going up and making a difference and contributing. And, that's part of the development process down here, is to make sure that when they go up, they have their details down, that, a young player going up, the biggest thing to do is to get the trust of the NHL coaches. And when they bring guys up, they don't always start on the first line. They don't always get to play with Getzlaf. They'll start on the bottom line, and that once they get their trust in, they end up working their way up through the lineup. But I don't know if that answered your question, but the biggest thing, I had like Jonathan Chichu, Ryan Clough, I can go on and on. Guys that would go up, they would be there for 3 or 4 games, and then they get sent back down, either because their practice habits weren't up to par yet, or, they didn't get enough out of the 8 or 9 minutes that they were playing up there. And, so then they have to come back down here and rework their craft again.
Coach Roy, welcome to San Diego. I'm Eric Connert with CBSA. You touched on your style of play a little bit. Obviously, communication's a big deal for you, but can you get into more specifics about the physicality of the game, the finesse of the game? What kind of game do you want to see your players putting in each night?
Well, a lot of it has to do, I've been doing it for so long that, I really used to worry about, like, I go, oh man, these guys are coming in, this draft player's coming in, I'm going to end up getting this guy. But you really don't know at the American Hockey League level what you're getting until training camp officially breaks. And then you see what kind of team you have. I mean, I had teams in Worcester where we weren't really very good, but we were super tough and we beat up a lot of teams. And that's how we had to win games. And then I've had teams that were super skilled that if they tried to play that type of a game, you weren't going to win very many hockey games. I think the player that we're going to be getting, for next year, there's going to be a lot of skill. So I want to let those guys, experience, making plays in the offensive zone, gaining the zone. They might make a few turnovers, but kind of let them have a little bit of fun with that. But there are certain parts of the game that are non-negotiable, like, how you play defense and, how you, like whether you're going to get in front of a shot or not get in front of a shot. And, not everyone can play offense. Those guys are hard to find, but everyone can play defense. And again, to play up in the NHL, if you can't take care of your own end or take care of pucks, you're probably going to be back here in a couple games.
I think that's it. Anyone, members of the media with questions? We're good. Okay. Once again, let's welcome Rob DeMaio and Roy Sommer to the San Diego Gulls. All right, thank you all for coming this morning. We have refreshments in the back for all of you in attendance. Thank you.